This video talks about using a calculator when working with sine, cos and tan. So mostly in questions, and particularly in questions like in the last video, you will end up with something like the cos of x is equal to square root 3 over 2. Exactly like we have here. So to find it, we need to divide technically by cos, but when we divide by cos, we don't actually divide by cos, we get the cos inverse. So this becomes x is equal to the cos inverse of square root 3 over 2. Now, how we do this and how we put this into our calculator is if you have a Casio, you press shift and cos, and then you will get the cos inverse. For sharp, if you press second function and cos, you will get cos inverse. However, if you're using a sharp, you need to make sure to include brackets after the cos inverse because they're not automatically put in, but in a Casio, they are automatically put in. And then when you put this into your calculator, you should get the answer of 30 degrees. Now, the key thing about this is you always need to make sure your calculator is in degrees mode. And to check if your calculator is in degree mode, on a Casio, there should be a little kind of D at the top of the screen. And in a Sharp, there should be like a DEG at the top of the screen. So if your calculator isn't in degrees mode, there's kind of 3 steps for both Casio and Sharp for how to change it into degrees mode. And the reason why it needs to be in degrees mode is because, of course, we're working with angles. So it needs to be 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees. There's something else called radians, which you will look at in higher level leaving certificate. But I wouldn't worry about that too much at the moment. Just as long as it's in degrees, we're perfectly happy. So the easy and best thing to do is for me to go through a few examples. So the first one here says evaluate the 3 decimal places, the sine of 64 degrees, the cos of 21 degrees, and the tan of 43 degrees. So how you would go about doing this is you just type it into your calculator. So the sine of 64, when you type that into your calculator, you'll get that it's equal to 0.89879. Now that to 3 decimal places will be 0. So we'd have 3 here. The 7 would round up and it would be 9. So it would be 0.9899. The second one then, cos of 21. If you just write cos and 21 into your calculator, you'll get that this is 0.93358. That the 3 decimal places, so we need 3 numbers after the decimal place, would be 0.934. And then the final one, so the tan of 43. So again, just type tan 43 into your calculator and you'll get 0.93251. And that to 3 decimal places will be 0.933. So that's the first type of question you could be asked here. And the second type is find the measure of the angle to the nearest degree. And first of all, we have the sine of A is equal to 8 over 9, the cos of B is 3 over 4, and the tan of C is square root 3 over 2. The first thing we need to do for this is to get A by itself, and to get A by itself, we get the sine inverse of the other side. Then, to make sure you just need to put that into your calculator, so you press the shift if it is a Casio or the second function when it is a sharp, and type sine and then just write in what we have, which is 8 over 9. When you type that into your calculator, you're going to get 62.7339. Now, they want that correct to the nearest degree, so it's going to be A is equal to 73 degrees. The next one then, we get the cos inverse, so it's going to be B is equal to the cos inverse of 3 over 4. So it's B then. Again, you press the shift or the second function, then the cos button, then you type in the fraction 3 over 4, press equals, and we get 41.409. So then the answer at the end is going to be B equal to 41 degrees. And the last one, we get the tan inverse. So it's going to be the tan inverse of square root 3 over 2. So then C is going to be equal to, again, press your second function or your shift, the tan button, and then the fraction root 3 over 2. Type that into calculator, you're going to get 40.8933. So correct to the nearest degree, that's going to be 41 degrees too. Then what they've asked first of all is to get the measure of the angle A, and we figured that out to be 63. B, which we figured out to be 41, and C, which we figured out to be 41 as well. This then is the end of this video.